He is also a fellow of the Indian Society of Vegetable Science and honorary fellow of High-Tech Horticultural Society, New York. He has also served as the Managing Director and CEO of VFPCK. I welcome you, sir, to chair the session. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta. Respected professors, students, officials of Kerala Agriculture University, officials of Indian Society of Vegetable Science, scientists from other universities who are attending this webinar. First of all, I thank Dr. K.V. Peter, my professor, who is the president of ISVS, and Dr. T. Pradeep Kumar, organizing secretary, who is a student of mine, for giving me an opportunity to chair this very important session. Now, the topic of today's presentation, vegetables as protective foods, has a lot of relevance nowadays. The sporadic outbreak of COVID-19 and the lack of or absence of effective vaccines compelled people to adopt precautionary measures or alternate systems of medicines. Quite a good number of people are following healthy food habits, healthy lifestyles, and exploring the possibilities or medicinal uses of ginger, turmeric, clove, garlic, pepper, lime, etc. To counter this problem. Now, in the healthy food habits, vegetables have a prominent role because, as all of you know, human body requires a wide range of nutrients like carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals like that for the normal physiological activities or the growth. And this carbohydrate, protein, and fats are mainly derived, as you know, it is from cereals, millets, and other non-vegetarian sources. And vitamins and minerals are mainly derived from fruits and vegetables, and they require only in very small quantity for the normal physiological activities. And vegetables, almost all vegetables have many medicinal values, and vegetables are rich and comparatively cheap source of, or fairly cheap source of, vitamins and minerals. Vitamins like beta carotene, then vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin E, then minerals like iron, calcium, magnesium, all are almost rich in or other vegetables. Now, these vegetables in general are considered as protective foods because the consumption of adequate amount of vegetables protect us from many diseases. Now, almost all vegetables are having medicinal value and is being exploited in the traditional systems of medicine, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, like that. Now, several chemicals having therapeutic value have been identified in different vegetable crops. And among these chemicals, the antioxidants and flavonoids are the most important ones. You know what happens? These antioxidants and flavonoids act as scavengers of free radicals. Now, as all of you know, the free radicals are very dangerous and harmful by inducing cancer development, brain disorders, and cardiovascular diseases. Now, these free radicals are nothing but molecules or atoms with unpaired electrons having high reactivity and are highly unstable. Now, what happens? These free radicals initiate a series of harmful effects by absorbing electrons from the stable compounds, making further free radicals reactive oxygen species. So this causes all these problems like brain disorders and cancer and other problems. So these antioxidants and flavonoids absorb or inactivate or suppress the effect of free radicals in the body. Now yesterday we had talks by Dr. Peter Sir. Then today morning also Dr. Tomer has given a good account, and all this mentioned the nutritional importance of vegetables and medicinal values of vegetables. And vegetables like carrot, then our pumpkin, yellow or orange fleshed pumpkin, then almost all leafy vegetables are fairly rich in beta carotene, which is a precursor of vitamin A. Then coming to vitamin C, another antioxidant. Our chili, green chili, is a richer source of vitamin C. Chili, then capsicum, green capsicum, then immature bean seeds, then sprouting seeds. Sprouting bean seeds also contain fairly high amount of vitamin C. Then coming to vitamin D. Now, you know the deficiency of vitamin D causes a number of problems in the human body, and it is mainly derived from exposure to sunlight. And now vegetables like palak, spinach, drumstick leaves also supply a fair amount of vitamin D. Then vitamin E is another antioxidant having very good effect to counter the effect of free radicals. Now, alpha tocopherol is rich in turnip leaves, then beetroot leaves, mustard leaves, and broccoli. Also in the spinach leaves. Now, apart from these vitamins, the flavonoids also can suppress the effect of free radicals. And flavonoids are nothing but they are polyphenolic secondary metabolites seen in several vegetables, especially celery, then parsley, mint, spinach, red pepper, all contain very high amount of the flavonoids. Now, vegetables like onion, tomato, beans also have fair amount of flavonoids. Now all these vegetables which I have mentioned now have a very high oxygen radical absorbance capacity and are very effective in countering many diseases. In addition to this, the onion which you are consuming daily, garlic, also contain sulfur compounds, allicin and diallyl disulfide, which have very good decholesterolizing effect. Similarly, the diphenylamine in onion is also effective to counter the diabetic disease. Now, our bitter gourd, there was a lot of talk on bitter gourd today morning, and it contains a hypoglycemic ingredient called cheratin, which can lower the sugar content in diabetic patients. Similarly, yams, it is a very good source of diosgenin, which is used in the manufacture of cortisone and contraceptive drugs. Then cole crops. Now, cole crops like cabbage, broccoli, norcol have anti-cancerous anti-carcinogenic activity because of isothiocyanates and indoles. Now there is a National Committee on Diet, Nutrition and Cancer suggested to include cruciferous vegetables in our daily diet for reducing cancer. Now, apart from this, nowadays, earlier we were talking mostly on the food security. Now that has been shifted. We are sufficiently well in food production. Now we talk on hidden hunger or nutritional security. Now in nutritional security, these vegetables are having a very good role because of their high content of vitamins and minerals. For example, the vitamin A. Vitamin A, as such, vegetables contain beta carotene, as I have mentioned, carrot, then pumpkin, leafy vegetables, all having high content of beta carotene, which is a precursor of vitamin A. Then nowadays, this mouth ulcer is very common in all age groups, and vitamin B is one of the reason for this. And vitamin B is present in several crops, legume vegetables like peas, beans, our cowpea, dolichos bean, then green onion, onion bulb, cabbage, sweet potato, like that. Then apart from vitamins, the vegetables act as a very good source of dietary fiber. Now, the importance of dietary fiber will be dealt in detail by Dr. Ramesh in the talk. So, all this shows that almost all vegetables are having very good role in the human nutrition and to protect us from many diseases. Now, there are a number of lot of work is there on this aspect, but it is mainly on introduced crops. And our own crops, especially crops grown in the warm, humid tropics, say chili. Now, chili, as I mentioned earlier, it is the richest source of vitamin C. Now, it is having that anti-expectorant. It is used in expectorants because it can control cough and all that. Similarly, ash gourd. Ash gourd, it is a very common ingredient, and it is this Kushmand rasayanam used in Ayurveda preparations. Bitter gourd, it is mentioned, it is having that diabetic property, and juice of bitter gourd is being used by many people, especially by naturopathies. The snake gourd, it improves the appetite and is used as a tonic as well as stomachic. The coccidia, it is considered that daily consumption of 100 grams of coccidia per day can reduce diabetics, can reduce sugar in the diabetic patients. So like that, number of the pumpkin, I mentioned about beta carotene. Then pumpkin seed contain oil. It contains oil which have omega-3 fatty acid, linoleic acid having great value. Then bindi. Bindi is a rich source of iodine which can reduce the goiter disease. Then winged bean. Yesterday Peter sir was telling, it was considered as vegetable of the 20th century because almost all parts are rich in protein and can be used. Then drumstick, it's a crop of very important, just like our curry leaf. It is also rich in certain minerals like potassium, phosphorus, and vitamins. Chacrumanis. So like that, it is considered as multivitamin, multi-green vegetable. It contains that much content of vitamins and minerals. So all this shows that vegetables are very good source of vitamins, medicinal properties like that. Now, I have mentioned the importance of vegetables as protective food. Now, while discussing all the plus points, we should be cautious in taking too much specific vegetables, because I want to make 2 points at this time. One is certain vegetables have some anti-nutritional factors. We should consider that also. For example, our beans, mature beans have phytic acid. The phytic acid present in that beans can reduce the availability of iron and calcium to our body. Similarly, trypsin inhibitors are present in certain legumes. Trypsin inhibitors. It can prevent the hydrolysis of protein to amino acids. Similarly, the green leafy vegetables. It is recommended that we should consume 100 grams of leafy vegetables per day. But if that limit exceeds, what happens? It contains oxalates. Certain leafy vegetables contain oxalates, which are harmful, the nitrates, which are harmful. So there should be a balance of using these vegetables, and we should know which are the anti-nutritional ingredients present in these vegetables. Another point which I want to mention is that now all vegetarians or naturopaths are recommending vegetables or drinking juice of different vegetables like bitter gourd, ash gourd, like that. Now there are certain reports that the vegetables may contain traces of pesticides, harmful pesticides. So we cannot completely avoid the use of pesticides in the cultivation practices. So as scientists of agriculture, of university or research organizations, we have the moral responsibility to develop, to produce safe foods, as well as to develop safe agro techniques for producing pesticide-free or pesticide minimum vegetables. So these points, all these points will be dealt in detail in the coming in this session. Now today we got two presentations. One presentation on prospects of underexploited vegetables by Dr. Veena Gupta, Head of Division of Germplasm Conservation at NPPGR New Delhi. Then another presentation by Dr. Ramesh PR, Vegetables as Immunity Boosters in COVID Scenario. So with these few words, let us invite the first speaker, Dr. Veena Gupta, for giving a presentation on underutilized vegetables. We can discuss in detail in the after the presentations. So thank you.
The next presenter is Dr. Veena Gupta. She is an alumnus of Botany Department, University of Delhi. Is presently working as Head Division of Germplasm Conservation, ICR and DPGR. Her scientific contributions in the area of plant genetic resources, conservation and management are commendable and appreciated at the national and international level by the scientific fraternity. She has been nominated as honorary member of Indian Industrial Youth Association and medicinal plants expert for DD Kisan channel of Delhi Doordarshan. She has over 70 research papers published and several books. She has been endowed with many awards and fellows of the leading scientific societies. She has also been trained in several countries like Sweden, UK, and South Africa. We welcome you, ma'am, to make your presentation. Now, please unmute, ma'am. You're not audible. Ma'am, we cannot hear you. Please unmute. We cannot hear you yet, ma'am.
Dr. Veena Gupta, please unmute.
Ma'am, we cannot hear you still, ma'am. I think there is some audio connectivity problem. We cannot hear you, ma'am. We'll get in touch with you. Just a minute, we'll call you. Ma'am, please attend your call now. Dear participants and panelists, Dr. Veena Gupta is facing some technical issues. We'll be back with us soon. Kindly wait patiently.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, madam. Audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
I'm audible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Please
then.
go ahead. Thank you so much.
Okay. I'll share my presentation now. Share my screen. हाँ नहीं शेयर आ रहा है ना
Ma'am, your share button is there.
but on my share my screen.
Yes, ma'am, it is coming now.
Thanks for using event recording agent. You are sharing your screen.
Yes, ma'am, please press your PowerPoint presentation. You can click there.
Yes, I have clicked it, but it is not coming on my screen. Okay, okay. It will taking a little bit of time.
Yeah, there's a small lag. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
we can see your presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Now it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, please put it in the screen mode.
Presentation. Ma'am, presentation
Yeah,
mode.
I've done it. Yeah, presentation mode. I've done it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, it is visible. Now
Okay.
everything is fine, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening to all and respected Dr. K.V. Peter, our mentor, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, organizing secretary, members of Indian Vegetable Science Society, professors, students, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be presenting my views on prospects of underutilized vegetables. As my chairman of the session has emphasized that nutritional and medicinally, they are highly valued. These vegetables are these. And these vegetables which are categorized as underutilized, why? Because they are being not fully exploited as per the properties they have. So now I will be sharing my presentation. It is on prospects of underutilized vegetables. This is myself and my colleague, Dr. Chitra Pandey. She is also here. And she is working, she's crop curator for vegetable crops. So first of all, we'll see what are these underutilized crops and why they are called underutilized. So underutilized, there will be three different aspects that these crops can be underutilized. One is that they are geographically bounded. So they are occurring in a one particular area and are not available to the other areas. That's why they are underutilized. Second reason is the social, like some people are using it while others, they are not using it. And then economic implications, like socio-economic implications, which means that although they are the major component of the diet of millions of people, but because of the different constraints like marketing or cultivation, these are not being able to come into the regular agriculture. So these are called as the underutilized. So these underutilized crops can be characterized because they have a cultural heritage. Like people, they associate their cultural values, or sometimes they are occurring in that area. They offer these to the deities or they use it in the puja. So these underutilized crops are associated with that. Sometimes the land races or traditional crops which are cultivated with indigenous knowledge. So they can be identified as the underutilized. Then adaptation to specific agroecological niches or the marginal lands. Then they have a very weak and no formal seed supply because they are not in regular agriculture. Then they are produced in traditional production systems with little or no or very meager external inputs. That means they are not being given proper fertilizer and other things. And then these receive very little attention from the national research or the national crop improvement programs. So these are several characters where these can be characterized for their category as the underutilized or underexploited, also we can say them. So these are very important, as Dr. Gopalakrishnan has also said, that they have the nutritional capacity to prevent and cure many diseases, including diabetes, cancer, hypertension, because they are the rich source of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, along with a large number of vitamins, folic acid, calcium, and more recently you have seen the COVID era, where the minor deficiency of zinc or manganese can cause severe effects in the human health. So these vegetables which have these elements in a very minute or minimum, you can say nanograms, they can play a very important role in our daily dietary and in the medicinal properties. So these underutilized or underexploited, which is the term given to them, I would like to say that these are the potential crops, the highly valued crops, which can be used or which can change the agriculture or the medicinal scenario in the coming years if they are able to enter into our regular agriculture. So secondly, this is the thing that there is a large number of, as the biodiversity goes, large number of species are there, but of them only 30 are cultivated, and only 4 to 5 species are there, which are mainly our agriculture is based. So these vegetables can play a very important role. Of these, 50 vegetables are so far grown, and on 30 vegetables, as the last day also and in the morning also, people have shared their research experiments, research work on various vegetable crops. So only 30 crops are being now in the research arena, and 25 potential crops, they require research and development attention at present. And these 25 crops, they mainly come from the tribal areas or from the areas which are using, where the native people are using these medicines, these vegetables, either as medicine or as their sole diet. So there are about 145 roots tuber species and 521 species which are used as leafy or green vegetables. So India being a rich center of diversity, we have a large number of diversity, including vegetable crops. India is the center of origin and center of diversity for many of these crops like spine gourd, sweet gourd, ivy gourd, melothera. Then many of the underutilized or vegetable crops from the other parts of the country, other part of the globe has also been acclimatized, and they have well adapted to our conditions, like tree tomato or meetha karela. So these underutilized crops have great potential, and this great potential, they can provide new or additional foods and contribute to the food security. Since they are rich in minerals and vitamins, they can contribute to the nutritional and improving the human health, and they can be marketed in a new ways as novel food and can help raise the income for the farmers, and they can also sometimes help in the enhancement of environmental services, like by filtering or processing toxic substances, preventing soil erosion, and restoring the degraded soils. So of the different reasons of diversity across the world, there are 11 centers of reasons of diversity where these underutilized vegetable crops are being distributed. Like in India, in the Chinese-Japanese region, 56 different species are occurring. Similarly, in Indochina, Indonesian region, 31. And our Hindustani center has 11 different species which are distributed in large quantities. And similarly, in the Near Eastern region, Mediterranean region, so a total of around 215 or 230 different species are there, which are being distributed across the world, and they can be utilized for the future potentials. Hence, the responsibilities or the genetic resources of these crops are very important if we have to change the face of our coming agriculture. And the responsibility has been entrusted to NBPGR, the National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, under the aegis of ICAR. And since 1976, through various administrators who have joined our institute, the NBPGR has played a very important role in the utilization and distribution of genetic resources of all agri-horticultural crops, including the vegetable crops. So NBPGR has 10 different regional stations in different agroclimatic zones of India. We have our experimental farm at Delhi. Then we have a base center and regional centers. And all these centers are contributing towards the collection, conservation, characterization, and utilization of these underutilized vegetable crops in the different areas and of their respective agroclimatic zones. So NBPGR, while collecting, conserving, then characterizing, they are identified the donors and parental stocks for potential traits. And then these traits or genes, they become the part of the variety development programs. And finally, the varieties, they go to the farmers for the cultivation. So this is the flowchart of the different activities which we are doing at NBPGR. While collecting and conserving, the conservation network of genetic resources, which I am dealing with at NBPGR, we have a national gene bank at headquarters in Delhi, and where the long-term conservation of these vegetable genetic resources along with other crops is being done. Then in addition to the long-term conservation, we have medium-term conservation, which is for 5 to 10 years, and it is under the +4 to +8 degree temperatures. The temperature ranges in long-term modules, it is -18 to -20 degrees centigrade. Then along with the seeds, which we are conserving at Gene Bank, we have an in vitro conservation facility and a cryobank facility at NBPGR in the headquarters. Then along with these different strategies, one is the field gene banks, which are maintained at almost all the regional stations and also at different agricultural universities. Then along with this, we have for regeneration, we have national active germplasm sites. 59 germplasm sites are there, where if there is a need for regeneration or multiplication of these crops, so specific crops are sent to the specific NAG sites. So this is in short the network of NBPGR conservation. So you can see the National Gene Bank, which is the second largest gene bank in the world. And we are at present, we are conserving more than 4.4 lakh accessions belonging to about 2,000 species. Then the world's largest multi-crop in vitro gene bank is also at the NBPGR New Delhi, which is conserving 3,700 cultures of 54 genera. Then the cryobank, where the recalcitrant embryos or pollen grains, they are conserved. It is Asia's largest cryobank, where approximately 13,000 accessions of 820 species are being conserved. And this, you can see the large variability in different crops which are being conserved at the National Gene Bank Conservatory. In addition to these, we have a large number of field gene banks which are maintaining the tree species and other horticultural crops, and also for the vegetable crops like onion. We have the field gene banks for onion at our Bhowali regional station. Then conserving at the National Gene Bank is the primary center of conservation, but looking into the recent developments of CBD and other international treaties, safety backup conservation is also essential. So India is well contributing towards the safety backup at the Svalbard Global Seed Gene Bank Vault at Norway. And we have contributed pigeon pea, rice, sorghum, these samples to the Global seed vault. Now coming to the vegetable crops at NVPGR, we are conserving around 27,000 different accessions of the 57 genera and 180 species, and all these species, all these accessions, they have different background from where they come, like improved cultivars from the crop improvement programs, wild and weedy species, then genetic stocks, release varieties, parental lines of the hybrids, farmers variety, and land races also. So the diversity in underutilized crops, it belongs to 52 families, 140 genera and 213 species in India. And majority of these underutilized vegetables, they are on the basis of their intake, they can be categorized into 3 different types, like leafy types, which are mainly for salads and the fresh leaves are consumed, and mainly they belong to amaranth, chinopod, atriplex, basala, brassica, portulaca, etc. Then tender fruits or pods, mainly the Benin casa, and then some of these Coccinia solanum species. Then some cucurbit fruits are also taken as raw, like cucumis. Then sprouts, mainly the bamboos or asparagus, we can say, where the sprouts or the young shoots are taken for the food or dietary purpose. So this is the diversity which we are conserving at National Gene Bank. We have Cyphomandra Betaceae, which is a tree tomato, and mainly it is grown in the Sikkim and Meghalaya region, and the young shoots and the fruits or berries, they are taken. Similarly, capsicum, like Dr. Gopalakrishnan was mentioning, that the capsicum chilies, they have very high nutritional value. So we have bird eye chili and also the Naga chili from the northeastern region. Then Sachium adulans or chow chow. It is an introduced species which has been now domesticated and well adapted to our country. Momodica Cochin chinensis or Momodica dioica. The you can say kakoda, it's a very lesser known or less utilized vegetable in the central plains. In UP area, we eat these tender fruits, cook these as a vegetables, and now they are also widely distributed in Assam and Garo Hills of Meghalaya, and these are both highly nutritional and with high medicinal value crop. Similarly, Cannavelia, the dry beans, we have about 124 germplasm accessions we have collected, and these have been conserved, and they have very large compounds. Then Vicia faba or broad bean, this is again a legume, which is the protein content of this is very high, 20 to 25%, and it is non-poisonous to humans. It was mentioned that phytic acid is a non-desirable character in beans, but we have some of the germplasm in these beans which is registered for low phytic acid content. So these can be utilized in the crop improvement programs if anybody wants. Then Sophocarpus tetragonulobus or winged beans, again with high carbohydrates and vitamin A, which is 300 to 900 units. And we have 213 accessions of this species. Then Trichosynthesis dioica or parmal, which is again a very delicious vegetable in the northern areas, and it is good for maintaining the healthy heart and brain. So, then Coccinia grandis or kundru, which is again a very well-known medicinal plant in the Indian system of medicines, and it is reported to have to reduce the amount of sugar by improving the general metabolism of the patients. Amorphophallus, again from the northeastern region. Then Parkia roxburghii, it is now it is coming most popular and delicious vegetable in the northeastern region. And based on the locals, where we have contacted them and interviewed them, that these pods are consumed at different stages of maturity, either fresh or processed. So at different stages of maturity also they are being used. Then spine gourd or concoda, I've already told you, we have a large amount of germplasm, and it includes 3 of the registered germplasm. This registration activity is entrusted to NBPGR to give soft protection to the breeder's material, which has some high potential, but it could not be released as a variety. So those identified genotypes during the process of development of variety, they can be registered with Plant Germplasm Registration Committee, and but these should have some important trait which can be registered. So in Momordica, we have 3 germplasm which have been registered, and one is the prominently gynoecious habit, and another is gynoecious line with high yield and attractive fruits. Similarly, in okra, Abelmoschus esculentus, a large diversity has been collected and is conserved at the gene bank. The registered germplasm which we have, the 4 lines are there. One is the plant dwarf type, bushy plant, and then one GMS line, and one is with completely ridgeless fruit, long stalks, easy to snap, and suitable for both fresh and market processing. You can see the variability in the flowers and fruits. And then comes the green leafy vegetables, which provide vital nutrients important for our health. They can be used as fresh as salad also. They can be cooked, and they are rich source of nutrients, high dietary fiber, low protein, low lipids, and rich in folate, ascorbic acid. So all these beta carotene flavonoids are all antioxidant properties. They are being now utilized or being utilized for their potential in the nutritional you can say the nutraceutical industry. Then salad vegetables, we have lettuce, leek, and celery. These are the number of accessions and some of the characters or nutritive values which they have. Like lettuce, we have 100 leaves which have 94% of water, rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, and calcium and iron. Similarly, in leek, good source of carbohydrate, proteins, phosphorus, iron, vitamin C. And similarly, the celery, which has only 21 calories per 100 gram. So it can be a very, you can say, a potential for anti-obesity or for diet charts for the weight loss. Then these some of the vegetables varieties developed by PUSA and other institutes being conserved at the National Gene Bank. This is the registered germplasm in leafy vegetables, which I was talking, conserved in the National Gene Bank for different traits. Then chinopod, or you can say it is the mother grain used by Incas, and now it is gaining high popularization because of the saying that it is a best breakfast food, and it has high potential for both nutritional benefits and versatility to contribute towards the all type of nutrition and different reasons. Where in the countries where protein sources for the diet are less, chinopods are best options for them. Then this is the nutritional value of chinopods. Grain amaranth or leafy amaranth. Amaranth are utilized both in the form of grains and as well as leafy amaranth. So like grain amaranth, hypochondriacus, you all know during the fasting time we take the different preparations from hypochondriacus seeds. Then cruentus or tristis or tricolor, the leafy vegetables, they are the important sources for the salads and leafy vegetables. And also as a C4 cycle plant, amaranth, they can sustain high photosynthetic activity and water use efficiency under high temperatures and high radiation intensity. And this can be an ideal crop for abiotic stress conditions for the changing climate. So it can be a future crop for the climate change. Then Benin Casa, the fruits are again We have 281 accessions and two varieties we have, which are highly used in the vegetable candy and sweets preparation. Then Legionnaria, Sanisaria, again, we have different type, and 3 are of them registered in the NBPGR. Lupha actangula or Egyptiaca and Hermatophyta. These 68 accessions we have, and these are some of the traits for which they have been identified. Similarly, in Trichosynthesis, Parmal, I have already told you that this is rich in vitamins and minerals, and it is used in the preparation of curries, leaves, and tender shoots are also eaten. Cucumis mello or Cucumis sativus. This germplasm, one of this germplasm has been registered by NBPGR, which have 2 female flowers per node. Normally, we find 1 flower per node, and they have 2 female flowers per node. Earliness in small fruits, and they are light brown in color. Then in Cyclanthera pedata, we have 81 accessions, and 1 of them has been registered for the spineless large fruit. Cymopsis tetragonolobus, also called as guarfali, but guarfali is very important. It is not just guar. Sometimes people say that guarfali is eaten by village people, but this is very rich in protein, and it gives some of the minor nutrients to our diet. We have around 4,000 accessions, and these are 2 of the varieties which are resistance to biotic stresses like bacterial blight, Alternaria blight, and then the other accession, current guar, which is again resistance to bacterial blight. Then these are some of the new vegetables or potential vegetables from the northeastern region, which are till now they are geographically taken by the northeastern region only, but we have collected the germplasm, and now we are trying to evaluate and give them some value trait we are going to identify so that they can be popularized in other areas of the country. Like this finger and corms of taro, which have 30% manganese, vitamin E 19%, and potassium 18%. So these taros, Colocasia species, they can be popularized in other areas also. Similarly, the Solanum gilo, it is a lesser known cultivated introduced species, again in the northeastern region, and they are the reservoirs of minerals, vitamins, carbohydrates, proteins, antioxidants, and they can also be grown as a resilient crop towards the climate change. Then Moringa oilifera, already mentioned by the chairman, that drumstick is an important species, which where the leaves are also taken, pods are also taken. So given its multiple uses, the moringa and its wider adaptability towards the length and breadth of our country, it can be important, or it can be a potential crop for the coming years. Then asparagus, which is high in folic acid, good source of vitamin, fiber, potassium, and then this folic acid, and it is low in calories. So it can also be a potential vegetable for our breakfast. And this new edible fruit or vegetable, we can say, Saurocarpus androgynous, which is again from Arunachal Pradesh, and it is also called as the multivitamin plant because it has high levels of provitamin A, carotenoids, vitamin B, C, protein, minerals, and moreover, sometimes the people in the native area, they call this plant as the insulin plant, because by taking the fruits and leaves of this species, the metabolism or the liver action is enhanced, or it is improved, so that the sugar level goes down. Similarly, in different species like Musa balbisiana, which are again lesser known vegetables, prosopis, cineraria in the Rajasthan area, mucuna, phaseolus, then lepidium, again a very important or potential crop for the arthritis people, then chleurodendron, dolichos beans, they are also conserved. So these are the major species which we are conserving, and we are distributing these plants, these species, for the crop improvement programs and also for the research purpose. But still these species remains as underutilized. So why they remain as underutilized and their potential is not fully explored? Because of the lack of awareness to our farming community, lack of research, desirable seed and planting material, then application of advanced on-farm agro techniques, post-harvest management, inadequate marketing support to the farmers if they are growing it, and then poor recognition of these crops in horticulture promotion through propagation. So we have to, in future, we have to address all these issues so that these underutilized vegetables should not be treated as underutilized, but they should become the potential vegetable crops for the new arena or for the new century. So thanks to all, thanks to my director, thanks to my colleagues who have contributed for this compilation, and thanks to the organization, organizers who have given me this opportunity. And we both, Chitra Pandey and myself, we thank to all for patience listening to us in spite of the initial hitch. Thank you. Thank you. इसको अनशेयर कैसे करेंगे?
So thank you, Dr. Veena Gupta, for the excellent presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Very, very wonderful presentation. You have given a very good account of the various underutilized vegetable crops, and also the role of NPBGR in the conservation of crops, the exploration, conservation, and further utilization.
Yes.
Now, NPBR is doing a wonderful work on the conservation, both in situ as well as cryopreservation. Similarly, they are also supplying allied seeds, registered seeds, to research organization for further crop improvement and further multiplication. No, that was a very, very nice presentation. So I thank you for this. Now, one of the reasons which I feel that for popularization of these underutilized crops, we should talk about some programs. So one of the so for that, why in spite of the high nutrient content, high medicinal value, they still remains as underutilized. So the basic hits we have to identify why it is being underutilized. As you mentioned earlier, perhaps it may be due to that it may be bound to a certain location.
Yes.
It may not further. Then some crops may be difficult to cultivate on a commercial scale because of the marketing problems like that. Yes. Marketing, for example, that winged bean you mentioned, it is very difficult to market.
Yes.
Then harvesting difficulty like that. So many hinges are there. So first we have to identify what is a hinge to popularize this and talk out programs for popularizing these crops. So for that, this webinar should recommend that hitches as well as the practices to overcome that.
Okay.
Similarly, the works on underutilized crops are very, very limited. Even crops of European origin, there are a lot of work is there. But crops on Indian origin is very much limited. Yes. So research organization should work, and the work should not be confined to breeders or agronomists like that. It should be a multidisciplinary approach. Breeders, then biochemists. Even I think not only it is having a lot of medicinal value also. Other systems of medicine also can take part in the collaborative research. At the end of this session, we can make some recommendations how to popularize these underutilized crops like that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there is one question in the chat box. Can we take that question?
Yes.
From which place was the taro collection taken? Are there any biofortified taro accessions with NPTR?
What? Taro collections we are maintaining at our regional station Trichur and at the CPCRI Institute. So you can make your request either directly to them if you need, or you can write to our director. We will supply the material through those institutes only.
Madam, in the northeastern region, there are.
Yes?
Not able to.
Okay, please.
Is there any yellow fleshed cucumber available?
Yeah, many.
Yellow carotene rich cucumbers are there, and one is with yellow color flesh that has been registered also. It is with NBPGR only. If you need the germplasm of that, you have to place your request to director, then we will supply the seed. There is a standard procedure on our website. Whatever you want, you have to follow that procedure, and then the seeds will be given only for research purpose.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. That is all, ma'am. We have no other questions.
Okay.
No, Dr. Veena Gupta, I got one doubt.
Yes.
Now, in the northeastern region, there are a lot of root crops which are coming.
Yes, sir.
Marshy land,
Yes.
especially taro like that. Now, if now in Kerala, a lot of marshy area is there.
Yes, sir.
On either side of the roads.
Okay.
So, and it is full of weeds. So if you can introduce that marshy edible type,
Okay.
that will be very useful for strengthening the nutritional security.
Yes.
Now, can you supply that to
No,
Kerala?
we can supply those material to grow in the Kerala, but first we have to do some exploratory studies, initial studies in few areas. Otherwise, sometimes what happens that species of importance, if introduced into another area, it becomes a weed or it becomes a nonsense there. So we have to first give a domestication study. If it is successful with no loss to their native viability, which is occurring in the native area, it should not be destroying your own species there, then you can introduce it. So you need a pilot experiment to do this. Some of the material we can provide if you want to do a pilot experiment. That can be provided from our regional station Shillong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, sir, can we move to the next section? Yeah. Dr. Sangeeta, you please go to the next speaker.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We will now move on to the next speaker, Dr. Ramesh PR, who is going to talk about vegetables as immunity boosters in COVID scenario. Dr. Ramesh is an Ayurvedic physician and presently the chief at Horticulture Ayurveda. He has more than 30 years of experience in the field of Ayurveda and serves as visiting faculty in natural and integrative medicine. He's in University, Germany. He's a member of the governing council of National Ayurveda Research. He's a member of the governing body of Central Council of Research in Ayurveda and Siddha under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, New Delhi. And he's also the Committee of National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers, Quality Council of India, New Delhi. He also serves as member Quality Assurance Council, Kerala University of Health Sciences. We welcome you, sir, to make the presentation.
So welcome, Dr. Ramesh.
Thank you, sir. I need to share the slide, so I can.
So you are granted the sharing, right? You can share your PowerPoint.
Yeah, Now, is it visible
Yes,
now?
it is visible. It is visible.
Okay. So let me start. So first of all, paying to Lord Vishwara and paying homage to our founder, let me start. So respected chairman and respected Premi Kumar ji and Dr. Peter ji, first of all, let me thanks wholeheartedly for giving me an opportunity to present this paper in front of the August Assembly. So first of all, I'm audible, no? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So let me start. First of all, my love to all respected scientists and participants of this seminar. So this is first slide is about knowledge. This is about first millennium BC. One of the rishis, a ancient acharya of Ayurveda, discusses about knowledge. Knowledge conducive to health, longevity, fame, and all, coming even from an unfamiliar source, should be received, assimilated, and utilized with earnestness. Yeah. And I think slide is not moved. Slideshow. Slide is.
Sir, on the left side of the panel, there is an arrow key. You can use that also on your screen.
On your screen, left side, there is nothing. I am just escaping. This is left side of the panel. This slide is not moving.
So do you want us to present from here?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, do that.
Okay, we shall do that, sir. Just a minute.
Yeah. Or yeah, okay. So is it from? So now I can move. Now I can move. Is it audible now?
Yes, sir. It is audible.
Okay. So now this is about knowledge, and this is what I am going to speak today about human microbiome, role of microbiome, viruses and microbiota, disease transition, Ayurveda concepts about immunity, and effects of human body by vegetables and fruits, and vegetables and fruits, their qualities, and some research papers and ultimate advice for health. This I will be taking half to 40 minutes. But why I am putting it in this way, we are all talking about immunity. Immunity means simply by eating food, we may not be able to achieve it. Being a physician, practicing physician, I would like to just highlight those aspects also, though it may be knowing or it may be you may be aware about all these things, but still just to remind those things, I would like to share some of these aspects. It's about human microbiome. Human are mostly microbes, over 100 trillion of them. Microbes outnumber our human cells 10 to 1. The majority live in our gut, particularly in the large intestine. The microbiome is a genetic material of the microbes, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and viruses. 1/3 or more of the Earth's biomass is microbes. Human skin is a virtual zoo of bacteria. Human gut is a rainforest of bacteria. So the metabolism actually takes place with this microbial help. Metabolism is an amalgamation of microbial and human attributes. The number of genes in all the microbes is one person's microbe is 200 times the number of genes in the human genome. And the microbiome is responsible for improved metabolism, vitamin production, detoxification of harmful material, protection against pathogens, regulation of immune system, improves heart health, controls allergies, asthma, mood swings, blood sugar, so many things which are all autoimmune. So this is very much connected with our immunity. So keeping a diversity of our microbiome is very, very important in having good immunity. And the diversity is the key of microbiota. 70 to 80% immune cells are from the gut. The bacteria living in and on us are not invaders but beneficial colonizers. Disease-causing microbes accumulate over a period of time, changing gene activity, metabolic processes, and resulting in an abnormal immune response. Autoimmune diseases such as diabetes, RA, rheumatoid arthritis, muscular dystrophy, MS, fibromyalgia are all associated with the dysfunction of microbiome. And the new researchers show that inheritance of microbiota, not the DNA alone, is the probable cause of disease inheritance. That much important is the microbiota. And the role of viruses, many viruses, because we are now experiencing the pandemic from a virus, many viruses are stable members of the human microbiome. Viruses of the human microbiome provide evolutionary advantages to some bacteria. Virobiota transfers human mucosal barriers. Bacteriophage is the microbiome protect mucosal barriers from potential pathogens. Vibrobiota may be involved in dysbiosis that results in human disease. Now, the present global scenario, because I'm borrowing the words of Dr. Margaret Chan, who was the WHO Director General. She, in her speech in Traditional Medicine Conference, very clearly mentioned that three major concerns of 21st century. One is rapid unplanned urbanization, globalization of unhealthy lifestyles, and demographic aging. Because of these three things, a shift in the health scenario, the universal rise of chronic non-communicable diseases like heart problems, cancer, diabetes, COPD, chronic respiratory issues, and so on. And that is how the transition is from communicable to non-communicable diseases. And along with that, increased lifespan also. So earlier, by heart attack, transformation from acute death to chronic disease. Earlier, if you have heart attack, you die. But now you live with heart failure. Same is with stroke and vascular dementia. Diabetic death has become diabetic life and HIV death has become HIV life. So now the society actually is having a healthy person. You see the white line, white part is the healthy people. Chronic ill health is the pink area. And above that, you can see the chronic ill health with the disability and the chronic ill health, disability, and dementia. This is actually the cross-section of the society now many countries have. And again, the NCDs, the WHO estimates that 38 million people globally dies with non-communicable lifestyle disorders. And that too, the premature NCD mortality, it is mostly in China and India, but the premature death, more than 25%, that is between the age of 30 to 70 premature deaths are happening in Russia or expected to have in Russia and India.
Excuse me, can you please notify us to move the slides before going to next slide?
Yeah. Okay. So this is, I am changing it. So it is not visible.
It's being shared from here. So before
Okay.
yeah.
So
Okay.
now post-COVID scenario. That is the slide now, because post-COVID scenario. You got the slide? Because in my computer it is moving now. Yeah.
So which is the slide number, sir?
Yeah, this is the slide number.
It's there in bottom right side.
Just a minute. But nice, my screen is full. So slide number is
Bottom
not.
right, you have mentioned the slide number.
13 number.
1-3 is here.
Maybe a post-COVID scenario.
No,
What's the number of that slide?
Number is not visible here.
it is transition from acute death.
From acute death, transition from acute death. Afterwards, transition from acute death. Afterwards, you just change the slide. It is the in old age, chronic health is compounded with disability and dementia. Next slide is about the premature ICD deaths. Deaths foretold. Deaths foretold. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes, post-COVID.
Then next slide. I was discussing the next slide, the post-COVID scenario.
Previous one. Second one.
Yeah. This is presently, because of this thing, the communicable to non-communicable, that shift, how it is going to be affecting the flow, we don't know. So we have to see what is going to happen. But still, the non-communicable chronic lifestyle disorders are still there, and many of them are connected with our immune system. So next slide, please. Next slide. Nature and human beings. Yeah. Is it clear? Yeah. So it's all about is it clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear, sir.
Okay. Or shall we shift it to my screen now? Then
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. We'll try that.
Yeah.
Just a minute, sir. We will give you the sharing rights.
Yeah. I need to escape.
So now you can share your screen, sir.
Okay. Now is it clear? Now my.
Not yet, sir. You have to start sharing.
Oh, again. Oh, I see. So I have to do it 1 second. So I have to. Oh, okay. Just a minute. How we can do that? Just a minute. I have to close it and take it again?
No, sir.
Because the WebEx I am pressing. Okay. So now share it.
Share, yes.
Yeah, share.
Yes, sir. It's coming.
Now it has come, no? Okay.
Yes.
So this is the post-COVID scenario I was discussing about. Shall I repeat the earlier slides? This is about NCD. 25% of population in Russia and India is expected to have premature death, between 30 to 70-year people. And post-COVID scenario, nobody knows actually. And now we are discussing about the nature and human being. I'll go fastly. Human beings are the nature's unique creations. Animate and inanimate objects follow nature's rules. Somewhere during Renaissance period, in an attempt to understand nature and conquer, it developed an attitude to drift away from the encompassing effects. Rapid scientific progress diverted our mind to ignore certain phenomena like animals, birds, trees, and flowers. We tend to ignore body does react to nature's ever-changing moods and suffer. So many factors like seasonal variation, diet changes, environmental alteration, all are important in this aspect. And if you see Ayurveda, it is a traditional medicine system of India, widely practiced uninterruptedly, at least from the beginning of Buddhist period. There are codified literature dated thousands of years back, that is Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, etc. And it is the first organized medicine in the planet and continues to be a vibrant system still for millions. And Ayu means knowledge, Veda means life. It has two parts. Swastha is all about healthy man's regimen, where the immunity comes very important. Atura also is important in immunity because that is all about disease management. So it perceives man as an integral part of nature, treating him for his ailments, taking his body, mind, spirit together, and its approach to his well-being is philosophical in principle and holistic in technique. Every state of ailment is considered as a psychosomatic manifestation, and its eradication procedure is functional and integrative rather than symptomatic or factorial. So along with this medication, Ayurveda insists good food habits and dietary control. Here comes the importance of vegetables and fruits, and thus it becomes a comprehensive healthcare system with holistic approach. Now, the concept of pandemic, that also with 2 slides, then we are going to the subject. Because in Ayurveda, in Charaka Samhita, that is 3000 years ago, they have very clearly mentioned about pandemics. Because with air, water, location, and seasons get polluted by human deeds, the vitiation happens and a lot of people in a group is affected with ailments. Again, the Acharya Sushruta, who is supposed to be the father of surgery, discusses about communicable diseases. In that, he says that by contact, by inhalation, by sharing your dress, sharing, sleeping together, sharing garlands and all, this can be a communicable disease. And skin disorders, infectious fever, TB, conjunctivitis, so many things can be infectious. So here, 2 approaches Ayurveda discusses is anti-pathogen approach and immunity protecting approach. So they give prime importance to immunity always. Rekshed belam chapi narasya nityam tad rekshidam vyati belam nihandi. Always protect and modulate the immune system to improve the efficacy of the treatment. This is very much true in the case of chronic conditions as well as especially when you treat cancer patients or in chronic other conditions. And the anti-pathogen approach is again personal hygiene, which we all know, environment, public hygiene, single and compound drugs, which has anti-pathogen, antiviral activity. For example, ginger, turmeric, garlic, all these have got antiviral, antibacterial activity. Same way, anti-inflammatory activities or immunomodulatory activity is there, Punarnava, Guggulu, and so many. Now in the previous discussion, Dr. Guptaji was discussing about many aspects. I think many other speakers also might have discussed about the immunomodulatory effects. And the purificatory treatments is a unique procedure of Ayurveda. It is about purifying the body or biopurification method by certain panchakarma therapies. And then they are discussing about the dhupana, because to disinfect different herbs has to be fumigated. The Aparajita is one among them. Very recently, scientific studies have been proved that it reduces bacteria and virus load. And neem, mustard are all good for that. And the immune, because of lack of time, I am only dealing with the Ayurvedic perspective of immunity. Vyadhi is disease. Kshamatvam is the capability to fight against infection or against manifestation of infection. And now the key words used in Ayurveda is Balam and Ojas. It is about immunity and Vatikshamatvam, and they discuss us about 3 types of Balam. That is Sahajam, is innate healing potentials, Kalajam, by season and age. Because by season, during some season, you have good energy, and during some season, you are more prone to have diseases. And then comes age. Age in small children, immunity will be low, same way in old age also. Whereas in a vibrant age of young, will be having more immunity. And Yuktikritam is all about acquired immunity. So it coincides with the understanding of modern medicine. Innate immunity is Sahajabalam, acquired immunity is Yuktikrita Balam. And the word ojas denotes in Ayurveda is of the supreme state of being functional or fit. So all treatments, all medicines are aiming to achieve these goals. So immunity maintenance, why I am putting this slide specifically, immunity means not simply by taking vegetables or the good food. Good food is a part that can build up your immunity. But pure water, good air, sunlight, nutritious food, regular exercises, stress-free mind. Because if you have continuous stress in your job or at home, your immunity will be very, very low. Adequate sleep, that is also important, because our body and mind repair and complete rest gets during sleep time. And vibrant metabolism, because you should have a good metabolism to keep the immunity very, very active. And the diversity of microbiota, that is also important, because by having natural diet, our microbiota can be maintained. Whereas if you, that is the importance of global acceptance of unhealthy lifestyle, you are going for processed food always. Everything is packed, everything is brought at home, kept in the microwave, reheated, you keep in the fridge, reheat. This actually negatively affects our microbiota and our immunity. And then of course, genetics, we all know that it has very important role in immunity, and then immunomodulators. There comes medicines and the importance of vegetables. So in a nutshell, the approach of Ayurveda is, they always say prevention is better than cure. Shodhana is the purificatory therapy to make the body more vibrant. Shamana is palliative, treating everything, pacifying everything. Ahara is diet, nutritious diet. Vihara is our lifestyle. Ethics is another important. Ayurveda always discusses about ethics. Your ethics is very, very important to keep your body fit, because I will explain it in the last shloka. And Rasayana is rejuvenative therapies or rejuvenative medicine or rejuvenative kind of food. Ojaskara is protecting the immune system. So in a nutshell, this is what about Ayurveda. Now we are moving to the other part of the immune parameters affected by the food. Generally, there is an understanding. You may be knowing that vitamins, minerals, amino acids, proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids enhances the parameters of acquired immunity. DTH, antigen-specific antibody production, and the proliferative response of T cells. That is antigen-specific exclusion of pathogens. And probiotics, including lactic bacteria, mainly augment parameters of innate immunity. That is phagocytic activity and NK cell activity kill rapidly pathogens, antigen-independent manner. And now, the potential disease-preventing mechanisms of vegetables and fruits are, this is actually evolved from a lot of articles together. I have taken the in a consolidated form from a lot of articles together. The main activities are, one is antioxidant activity. Second is modulation of detoxification enzymes, stimulation of immune system, decrease in platelet aggregation, alteration in cholesterol metabolism, modulation of steroid hormone concentrations and hormone metabolism, blood pressure reduction, antibacterial and antiviral activity. If you consume all the foods any one of these or a combined effect or a synergic effect will be happening inside the body if the vegetable is pure and it contains pure nutrients as envisaged in a congenial environment. And the antioxidant activity is all about antioxidant like flavonoid reduces the oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is very because nascent oxygen and nitrogen actually initiate so many degenerative changes in the body like cardiovascular, cancer initiation, cataract, aging process. So antioxidants neutralizes them and protect from these kind of degeneration. And modulation of detoxification of enzyme. Detoxification of drug metabolizing enzymes are essential for the biotransformation of many important endogenous compounds and in the detoxification of numerous xenobiotics. Very clear. And stimulation of immune system and decreased platelet aggregation is natural killer cells play an important role in immune system and immune vigilance. And importance and phytochemicals, nutrients and phytochemicals tend to affect NK cell activity without influencing cell number. NK cell activity approximately doubled at 3 different factor to target cell ratios with a garlic intake study. Capacity to prevent excess and abnormal platelet aggregation is helpful in many chronic lifestyle disorders, and it is very important. And alteration of cholesterol metabolism and modulation of steroid hormone concentrations and hormone metabolism. Isolated dietary fiber and pectin containing fruits have hypocholesterolemic actions in humans. Certain CYP enzymes that metabolize phytochemicals are modulated by phytochemicals or both contribute to the inactivation of endogenous steroid hormones. They alter the potency of testosterone, estrogen, and their derivatives via oxidation or hydroxylation reactions. And blood pressure reduction and antibacterial, antiviral activity. Replacing animal products with vegetable products have shown intake of dietary fiber and mineral have shown blood pressure reduction in normotensive and hypertensive individuals. Garlic, ginger, basil, turmeric have both antibacterial and antiviral activity by its internal and external usage. And now, if we go to the vegetables, I'm just giving some examples of vegetables which are prescribed in Ayurveda also using Ayurvedic terminology. So I'm just going through that. Zingiber, you all know, rhizome is used. These are the textbooks in Ayurveda which refers about the qualities of ginger. But 3000 years ago, they have described it in their own way. There is a philosophy of Rasa, Guna, Virya, Vipaka, Prabhava in Ayurveda, and that was followed. And all these medicines are described how it affects the Tridosha, which is the functional units of the body. And that is how they have described about these things. But when you compare it with modern aspects, many of them have proven that it has got immunomodulatory, anti-inflammatory, cardioprotective, and so on, so many actions. So this is Dhanvantari Nikandu, Bhavaprakash Nikandu, Ashtanga Hridayam, so many classical texts of Ayurveda refers to this. And if you see the comparison, Ayurveda discusses about carminative, it is good in rheumatism, anti-emetic, cough, bronchial asthma, and so on. Modern scientific study also, this is also taken from books referred by the scientific community. So antioxidant, anti-cancer, antibacterial, hepatoprotective, cardioprotective, neuroprotective, and a recent study from Taiwan very clearly shows zingiber is very much effective in syncytial virus, which is a respiratory infection. So we are also now doing a lot of research with the Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, Hyderabad, during using our herbs in COVID virus specifically. And Haridra is curcuma longa. We all know that. This is again, these are the text. which very clearly mentions about the qualities of Haridra. And Haridra, according to Ayurveda, improves complexion. It is good in skin problems, diseases of blood, anti-edematous, anti-ulcer, anti-anemic. Modern scientific validation shows antioxidant, anti-cancer, antimicrobial, anti-diabetic, immunomodulator, and so many other activities. And same with Leshun. Leshun is a wonderful drug, actually, prescribed in many diseases in Ayurveda, and it has got so many minerals or flavonoids which helps in improving our health in many aspects. So Allium Satyvam, according to Ayurvedic terminology, this has got laxative action, stomach ache, heavy, aphrodisiac, appetizer, carminative, good in skin, abdominal hemorrhoid, aggravates hemorrhoids actually, good in diabetes, hiccups, asthma, cough, bleeding disorders. It actually induces bleeding disorders. And it is good in cholesterol, because in dyslipidemia, it is a good medicine. And cholesterol, it anti-platelets, because it reduces the platelet aggregation. And the properties described. This slide, I have kept only one slide for you, is that it is the rasa. They have written Kadu, Mathura, Lavana, Tikta, Kashaya. This is an Ayurvedic terminology which an Ayurvedic physician can understand its properties. Guna is Snigdha about actually Snigdha, Tikshna, Guru, Sara, Pichila. And Virya is Ushna. Its potency is Ushna. And Doshakna is in which dosha it acts, Kapha, Vata, Haram. And the Karmam is Brimhanam is a nutritive value. Pachakam is a carminative. And Santhanakaram is good in healing the tissues. Medhya is it's a brain tonic. Rasayana is a kind of rejuvenative, and it is used in Jwara Chikilsa, in fever, and in gastroesophageal issues and respiratory issues also. So this is, and if you do the modern aspect, it reduces CVD risk, anti-tumor activity, lowers blood sugar, anti-hypertensive and antiviral activity. And now, if you see the patolam, we all know that snake god, according to Ayurveda, cardiac tonic, good for worms and appetizer. But the study is written here in the slide itself, antibiotic, antioxidant properties. And bitter gourd, we all know, much their antibacterial, antiviral, immunomodulatory, and antioxidant properties are there. Article, a published article is given there. And again, the brinjal is antipyretic, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-asthmatic property. And again, the study is given there. Same way, rubbed gourd has got antimicrobial, antioxidant, and immunomodulatory activity. Study is given there. And now the Tanduliyam. Tanduliyam is the Sanskrit terminology used in spinach family. So these are the Ayurvedic properties. Visha means it is actually used for toxic, to reduce the toxin inside the body, and disorders of blood also. And it improves body immunity, and antioxidant properties are there. Palakya, spinach, another variety. A study is protective foods to develop immunity individuals against COVID-19. This is a recently published paper. And Upodagam is another Sanskrit terminology, again another kind of spinach. Good potential as an immunotherapeutic adjuvant owing to its immunomodulatory activity. And of course, the paper is given there in the slide. And this is about another group, Benincasa group, Benincasa hispida, Curcubita and Tumpa, all these group of medicines the Ayurvedic terminology they have given here. But again, I'll come to the, this is also another variety of cucumbers. And this is about Kushmandam, because in the previous slide, previous presentation about Kushmanda, they have very ash god, they have given a good description. It has got aphrodisiac property and antioxidant property also. This is another variety of cucumber. The study is given here. And this is all about lotus stem. Lotus stem, in olden days, lotus stem were very much used. In northern part of India, it is very much used. But in Kerala, it is not very, very commonly seen. But it is there. And these are varieties of Patrashaka Varga, is again different kinds of spinach. And it is actually ruksha, dehydrating according to Ayurvedic principles. But it can produce constipation in some people, but they give, Ayurvedic test gives an advice that digestion does not disturb if it is steamed and used, prepared using some oil. And Punarnava is a medicine used in Ayurveda. Anti-inflammatory, immunomodulatory properties are there. It is used in many, many conditions in Ayurveda. It has got antioxidant, immunomodulatory and properties. It can be used as sabji also. And Sarshaba is Sarsom ka tel. Everything is very, very famous. And Mulaka is, this is tender Mulaka. Tender Mulaka, Ayurveda discusses about it is can be used in asthma, wound healing, disorders of eye, in cold, common cold and all. And this mature radish is good antioxidant property. A study is given there. And Pindalu is yam. Again, lot of studies are there, but for want of time, I'm just quickly going. And Shigru is all about Shigru. Everybody discusses a lot about Shigru, immunomodulatory activity. And it is used in toxic, in the snake bites and all. In Ayurveda, it is used in many ways. It reduces diabetes, hypertension, and it is used in snake poisons for internally as well as externally also. So, then of course, lemongrass and lemon. These are other two in this group. So lemon has got carminative, appetizer, and all these properties are described in Ayurveda. And Tulasi, we know in Ayush Kwatha Churnam, what we use for protection against COVID, Tulasi is one of the ingredients because it is it has got antiviral, antibacterial activity, immunomodulatory activity. And Palandu is onion. As food, it is used, but in Ayurveda, it is very much recommended in hemorrhoid-related conditions. And this also, in elephant foot yam also specifically indicated in hemorrhoid-related conditions in Ayurveda. And mushrooms in Ayurveda, much positive descriptions are not there, but modern scientific validation shows. Why I put this slide, it is positive effect on microbiome. So many mushrooms are good for maintaining our microbiota's diversity. And Coriandrum sativum is diuretic according to Ayurveda. This is the seeds. And Ayurveda discusses about anti-inflammatory, diuretic, antipyretic activity, whereas modern medicine describes about antidepressant, like antimicrobial, antioxidant, anti-diabetic, and so on. And this is about curry leaves. Of course, it is good in diabetes and gastrointestinal related issues, especially in the microbiome maintenance and all. This is very good. This has got hypoglycemic effect. So it is actually good in diabetes. And respiratory issues also. And if you come to Phalavargam, grapes are supposed to be one of the best according to Ayurveda. It has got aphrodisiac, this thing good for eyes, and in bleeding disorders, in alcoholic intoxication, asthma, fever, emaciation, in so many conditions, this gives nutrition. And pomegranate, again, it is cardioprotective, appetizer, carminative, and so many other. And but it has got it in constipation. It is a medicine. It's skin also is used as the seeds also use in diarrhea. In diarrhea, not in constipation. In diarrhea to reduce. And in cardamom is again this. It has got antipyretic, anti-anemic, anti-ulcer, cardioprotective action. So this in modern researchers also shows many atherosclerotic, hypertensive, antioxidant properties. And all these fruits, banana, dates, jackfruits, and coconut are actually nutritious, nutritive, and effects in emaciation. It is in Rakta Pitta, bleeding disorder, it is good. Increase virility, all these are recommended. And in Villua, that is bale, also is constipative, used in diarrhea, but in Ayurveda, it has got so many medicinal properties to protect your immunity. So carminative, and this is, and jambu is, you all know, this is this is very famous in it for hypoglycemic activity, but it has got a lot of antioxidant which protect immunity. And tender mango also is good in improving immunity, but according to Ayurveda, it is hot in nature, so it can induce bleeding in certain conditions. So in ripe mango also is actually increase body strength, but it can induce bleeding. And again, same is citrus. So it contains a lot of vitamin C, but according to Ayurveda, it has all these properties. It good in anorexia, reduces colicky pain, helps in constipation, vomiting, and so on. But in modern medicine, it is again, it contains a lot of antioxidants. And plum also is does not vitiate dosha. That means it is doshakna, means it is good for immunity according to Ayurveda. So these are about this thing. And the citrus fruit, orange, also has a lot of antioxidants and good to improve immunity. And now I am ending my paper with two, three slides. Ayurveda Rasayana is the prophylaxis for COVID, in the COVID scenario. This is actually about ashwagandha, not a vegetable. But this, Dr. Bhushan Patwardhan is the Vice Chancellor of the Symbiosis University, Pune, has done a lot of work in ashwagandha, which is commonly available now in Kerala also. This has got so much immunomodulatory. Actually, it is called Indian ginseng, which protect immunity. So being an immunity seminar, I just wanted to highlight this. And again, the triphala. Triphala, the main ingredient is avala. Avala is gooseberry. Gooseberry contain, because why I put this slide, it actually protects the microbiota. And it actually reduces acidity, increases the antioxidant absorption, and anti-cancer property. Triphala actually has got, the DRDO research shows, radioprotective, anti-cancer, and chemo-preventive medicine. So it is a common drug, commonly used drug. And being again the Amla, my last this thing is that Amalaki Rasayana. It is mainly the gooseberry is the main ingredient of this thing. Gooseberry, we have done, Ayurvedashala has done a research study with in collaboration with Banaras Hill University Genetics Department and some other research institutes. So in the human model, it has shown that it aging DNA damage repair and increased telomerase activity in these. And in fruit fly model, it enhanced life expectancy, increased fecundity, resistance, and against starvation and tolerance of temperature. And in mouse model, it is actually acted as a cardiac protection, beneficial for myocardial energetics, muscle contractile functions, and exercise tolerance. which is very important because in the present health scenario of COVID complications, because cardiac issues, respiratory issues, for cardiac protection, these kind of, especially gooseberry type of things can be very well used. And these are the references. And my last slide is about ultimate advice for health. Ayurveda discusses about have healthy food, everything. But more than that, for health, what they recommend is that actually one who, this is the shloka, Nityam hitahara vihara sevi samikshagari visheshvasakta data sama satyaparaksamavan aptopasevi cha bhavati aroga. One who enjoys wholesome food and activity every day. Food is very, very important. Wholesome food, fresh food, not a stale food or artificially flavored or preserved food. Then one who introspects on his actions, who is unattached, who is generous, who looks to all with an equal eye, and who is truthful and forgiving, who delights in the service of virtuous men, he remains free from illness. So these are the qualities that we need to imbibe to protect our immunity, to protect our health, to have a healthy mind and a healthy body in this present health scenario. So thank you for your patient hearing. Once again, I thank you all for giving me this opportunity to present this paper in front of you. Thank you, sir.
So thank you, Dr. Ramesh, for the excellent presentation. This is a quite new field for us, for all of us attending this webinar. Yes. So everybody may be interested, and you will get a lot of questions, I think.
Okay, no problem. I'll try my level best to answer.
Okay. It was just like a poem. A very wonderful presentation regarding the history, including the history of Ayurveda, starting from history of Ayurveda, and everything on a holistic approach.
Yeah,
it was very good. Now, questions. There will be a lot of questions. Okay.
Yeah.
We got enough time also. It is, Sangeeta, any questions you received? Or?
So not yet. We have not received any questions yet.
Okay.
Or the participants can directly ask?
No, sir. They let them write in the chat box.
Okay.
Ramesh ji?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming here and presenting your valuable insights on the role of vegetables as the immunity enhancer. And on behalf of the organizer, we are very indebted to you. Let me ask one question.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about the stale food and the prepared food. How this is correlated with our rasayana and all, because in that for lehyam, Chyawanprash, because in Chyawanprash again Amla is involved.
Yeah.
So whether the quality is preserved in those Chyawanprash and all.
Yeah.
So
actually
storing.
Yeah. Actually speaking, because a lot of studies have been done in that. Actually, in a single avala, because the main ingredient is avala, and so many other, more than 48 ingredients are there in Chyawanprash. So it has got a synergic effect, and when it is prepared and kept, actually the preserved thing has got more antioxidants than in single avala. This is the study says. So Chyawanprash has got antioxidant property which can be preserved for a long time.
Okay, sir. Then my another question is regarding the osma, tulasi. We are talking about the tulasi.
Yeah.
There was a practice earlier to put 1 or 2 tulasi in water, in a tumbler of water, and taking it.
Yeah.
Is that healthy practice?
It is a healthy practice, but what we need to do, each prakriti, Ayurveda always discusses that everything may not suit to everybody. So there are people, because if you take milk from the same grams, if you take half, if I take, you may have constipation, I may have diarrhea. It is because of the difference in our body constitution, as well as the microbiota may be playing an important role in that. So same is with tulsi also. Tulsi, generally speaking, is healthy. It contains a lot of antioxidants, but there are people who are allergic to tulsi also. The moment they take tulsi, some sort of skin eruptions happen and they are allergic. So those people have to be careful. Other people, definitely this can be taken.
Another important aspect I noticed regarding the talk on the lotus root, because we are not using lotus, but I think some people in the central Kerala especially, they use it for kondatam making. Just like a bitter gourd and all, they are using it. But there are reports that it contains certain alkaloids and all. What's your observation on that?
No, lotus, actually lotus stem, it's in Ayurvedic text, it is discussed as a nutritious, very nutritious food and tissue nourishing thing. In northern India, because I was actually in Delhi, 17 years I was in Delhi. So there, this is a common food because along with vegetables, they bring this also. So we used to take that, we prepare curry, sabji, masala curry and all using these. It is very tasty and it is a bulk forming laxative also, because if you have constipation and all, in many number of cases, when you take regularly these, the fiber content, make it a bulk and you get a good laxative action with lotus stem. And it has contained lot of flavonoids, lot of antioxidants.
Oh, thank you very much, Ms. G, because this is a very wonderful session. In fact, I posted that in many groups and we uploaded in the YouTube also, because the most of the persons who are working in vegetable crops, they should hear your talk, because this is our treasure. And I think those who are missing will miss a great chance. And we are indebted to you, and over to you, Chairman, Dr. Sir,
there is one question with the permission of Chairman. Can I answer?
Okay, please.
Is daily intake of Amla recommended for low pressure patients?
Blood pressure patients.
Low pressure patients.
You can take. Actually, we always, from our childhood onwards, we hear that taking an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Actually, we Indians need to understand that taking an Amla a day keeps the doctor away. That much ingredients, antioxidants are there. So you can very well take Amla every day. No issues.
So there's another question. Whether the Vellanikkara somnifera species that is found in Kerala, the original species.
Vellanikkara somnifera, definitely there may be alkaloid changes because which is available in northern part, and here there may be changes. But Vellanikkara somnifera, generally speaking, is called Indian ginseng, and in Ayurveda it is supposed to have a lot of rasayana property, which is rejuvenating property. And especially recent studies of Dr. Bhushan Padwardhan very clearly mentions about, you maybe heard about the condition called glycation. In diabetic patients, after some time, their joints become stiff. It is because of the process called glycation. So when you take ashwagandha along with that, the glycation aspects considerably reduces. This is one finding in the new research studies. And it has got anti-cancerous property and anti-stress property also. So it can be used. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Now in the COVID scenario, now after the COVID infection is over, and now a lot of post-COVID syndrome is being noticed. Now those people without any symptom, asymptomatic people are also having this difficulty in breathing. It may last for even months. So any recommendation from Ayurveda for For that,
we are dealing with such cases now, sir, because mainly post-COVID, we see one is the respiratory issues, because respiratory system, the fibrous tissue formation or something like that might have happened internally. Again, another aspect is the cardiac issues. Cardiac muscles are very much affected. Then the stress, post-COVID stress syndrome is very much there in adults also, as well as in children also. Children, their immunity is very much compromised post-COVID because they might not have any issues, but afterwards they are prone to so many infections. So these are the commonest thing that we see. And so there we generally recommend, because Avala is one among them, Ashwagandha is one among them, Chyavanprash, Brahmarasayanam, these mainly contain Avala. These kind of things along with certain, because it is better that a physician should see the patient and then recommend individually tailored for an individually tailored treatment. These are common drugs which I discussed, and a nutritious food. I always tell my patients that to avoid as far as possible, because in a nuclear family it may not be always possible, keeping everything in fridge, reheating. So keep the prepare food for 1 week and again reheat it is not a healthy habit. So for 2 times, 3 times, minimize it as far as possible. And as far as possible, the tinned food and such things, artificially flavored, artificially taste makers added, such things if you can reduce, because immune system has to be very much maintained nowadays, because now this is COVID, so many viral infections are yet to come, very honestly speaking. So we need to be vigilant, we need to keep our immune system vibrant. So having a healthy, because whatever factors I have discussed in my presentation is important for keeping a vibrant immune system.
Okay, any further questions?
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
there are no
okay.
more questions in the chat box.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Ramesh. It was a very interesting talk as well as the interaction.
Thank you.
Both are very exemplary, and you have done in a wonderful manner.
Thank you.
And now, regarding, we have to conclude the session.
Yeah.
Dr. Pradeep.
Yes, sir. You may please
Okay.
conclude the session.
Now in the afternoon, it was a very enjoyable session. Actually, we are enjoying both the talks of Dr. Gupta as well as Dr. Ramesh. And now, regarding both the topics were related to health issues, both the nutrient status, medicinal values, and how to address the diseases like that. And now, regarding the underutilized crops, the question is whether these underexploited crops should remain as underexploited or they should be popularized. Now, if it is to be popularized, and if you want to bring it to the commercial group, we have to identify the reasons why these crops are underutilized. Then chalk out programs to make it popular. Now, that's a part to be addressed by the universities or research organizations. Similarly, the works, there are a lot of works on the medicinal uses or nutrient that should be codified and brought. Now, number of books are available, and mostly the information gained is from books. The original works also will be there. I think the people from warm, humid tropics should work on the local group of vegetables and explore the medicinal uses, then nutrient status also. Similarly, after cooking, now most of the nutrients it is from the raw stage. Now these vegetables are mostly consumed, especially in the South India. It is used as cooked vegetable or cooked vegetable. So after cooking, how much content it will be there? Is it whether it is completely lost or how much content is there? Like that, that aspect also to be studied in detail. And for that, as I have mentioned earlier, the biochemists, chemists, and other multidisciplinary approach should be there. Similarly, for medicinal uses, I think Kottakkal Ayurveda Shara can form collaborative projects with the Kerala Agriculture University. We got a medicinal division at College of Horticulture, Vellanikkara, and they are exclusively working on medicinal plants only. But they can also involve in the medicinal use of vegetables like that.
Yeah.
So like that, a collaborative approach.
Yes. Very useful. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, it was a nice session and I thank the organizers for permitting to share this very, very interesting session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, we also thank to you, sir, and to the listeners.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Thank you. So, can we leave now?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
With
Sangeeta,
this,
yeah, please.
with this, we come to the end of today's program. We would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the chairman of the session, Dr. Gopalakrishnan sir, for sparing his valuable time. And also we thank both the speakers, Dr. Veena Gupta madam and Dr. Ramesh PR, for their valuable presentations. So we have ended the session today. Tomorrow the session will begin at 9:30 a.m. The link for the participation will be sent soon. So kindly log in well in advance. Thank you for your cooperation and valuable participation. Wishing you all a very good day.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Sangeeta.